I'm trying to take away as many variables as humanly possible here at this point because we need to push. No. Not tearing a bicep. Good finish. Let's make some oatmeal. We are changing things up. You don't want to mess up your measurements, especially when you are in a bodybuilding prep, because you need to have a reliable rate of loss. And I'm struggling right now, ladies and gentlemen, because my rate of loss is practically not, and has been for the past 3 weeks. Now, I would like to preface all of this by saying about 2 weeks ago, I did go from 375 test to 500. So we did do that. But I had kept everything else the same outside of that. And things just have not been progressing on the scale. And now I think that I can see some measurable leanness more in my arms, in my shoulders, but that's about it. And I'm staying steady. And I have 9 weeks to do this. I'm 180 pounds. Last time I cut was before I was taking TRT at all. It was over a year ago. But man, I was 165 pounds. I wasn't stage ready. I don't think that I put on 15 pounds of muscle. I have a lot of weight that I still need to lose in the next 9 weeks. And I'm already eating 2,100 calories. But today I said, F it, we're going to keep everything as simple as possible. We're going to keep most of our meals not the same, but the same types of meals at the same times, same calories every single day. I am trying to take away as many variables as humanly possible here at this point because we need to push. And so, as y'all can see, we got the breakfast oatmeal. Today is an off day. It's Friday. I'm supposed to be doing legs, but it's a national holiday here. They're like Independence Day here in Portugal. So the gym doesn't open up until 9, and we have a very busy schedule. So I'm pushing my leg day back to Saturday, which is part of the reason why I am changing my diet, because Saturday, as I just said, is supposed to be my low day. It's supposed to be 1,800 calorie day. And so because my life is pretty sustainable, like I can stay on schedule pretty good overall. I can make it work. When things don't go right, I don't perform properly, cognitively, mentally. And so I'm just going to keep my diet steady every single day. And then if I start to get really, really lethargic overall, what I will do is at that point, I will take rest, take it a little bit easier in the gym, and keep the calories low. If I don't feel any better, then I will have a refeed day before a leg day and just kind of load up on carbs, eat all the same foods that I normally eat still. And what I'm going to do is change things up a little bit. Not change things up, but keep things the same. But most of my meals are going to be pretty steady from outside of my dinner meals, really. Gotta watch oatmeal like a hawk. And so, yeah, my dinner meals will be a little bit different just because my wife and I and the kiddo like to all eat together. However, she's on her own journey, and so we're pretty much doing stuff that I would be eating normally anyways. There's just going to be a little bit of variation, and some of that variation is just simply going to be like what I normally would eat on meal 2. I'll eat meal 3, and so it'll kind of switch up like that. Eating a lot of chicken, a lot of white fish, lean red meats as well. I'm keeping my fats under 40. Trying to keep carbs high. Gym performance is fantastic. I feel great. Obviously, going from 375 to 500. I'm going to see progression in the gym, especially with this being my first exposure to that high. I will not be adding in any other compounds this time around. I made a pact to myself that no matter what this looked like, this was going to be a test-only cycle. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time I'm like legitimately struggling with weight loss. Like I've always kind of been a slower loser when it comes to weight loss, but I've always been able to like be patient with it. But at this point, like I set that timeline for myself, so it's just like the patience is gone at this. It's just for me, it's not worth like, even though I want this to mimic a real prep, and I want to do everything right and get down to that point, and I will get down to that point no matter what. Like if I have to continue to do this into July, I will. I just really wanted to make the timeline that I'd set in my head, which was 20 weeks. Gave myself 20 weeks. I wasn't that far out of shape. It's just my rate of loss has not been where I kind of needed it to. I gotta be honest with you. I'm absolutely loving the added volume. It is not too much. I'm still recovering between sessions. And I'm having a ton of fun in the gym doing what I'm doing right now when it comes to doing a few more sets. And I've kind of stopped the screwing around when it comes to rest times. I was probably resting not too long. I mean, obviously I was resting long as I needed to, but I've cut the rest times down a little bit, and I haven't seen any performance loss. And like I said, I'm actually getting stronger in the gym. So again, gym performance, all that has been phenomenal. That feels great. My issue has been with the scale and the lack of difference I'm seeing, particularly in my midsection. If I need to drop my calories, I'll drop my calories, but being already at, 2160 is where my calories are right now. Like, God, that's getting low. And my issue with that, I mean, it's getting low for somebody who isn't trying to like continue to maximize their performance in the gym, even with performance enhancers. So like, I'm struggling with that aspect of it. Like, I really don't want to start losing that performance in the gym, because then I know that is meaning very much that I'm losing muscle mass. And especially because I'm not getting ready for an actual show here, losing muscle mass for a contest prep without a contest seems kind of. The problem is, this is all about going through the process and doing it and making sure, like, this is what I want. Like, it's worth going through this in the future for an actual show with an actual coach, and making, obviously, like, some of the sacrifices that I'm gonna have to make with a family. Like, it's just, that's the truth of it, is there's going to be sacrifices that I make to do this, and it's selfish. I mean, it's a selfish sport when you look at it. And so for me, like, it's got to be worth it. And I think it's worth it. I love it. But this is all to make sure that it's worth it. Now, let's put together this oatmeal bowl. Put the peanut butter powder up, zero it out. 10 grams of peanut butter powder in the bowl. As Scotty A Fitness would say, in the bowl. 10 grams in the bowl. Mix this up. We'll time lapse this. This is where I get yelled at in the comments. And then I have some homemade cinnamon sugar here. We do 4 grams of this. Then we're going to mix all that in real nice and good. Look at the color of that. I got the sun here. Look at the color of that. Look at how beautiful that is. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Also, if you have the opportunity, if you live in the northeast part of the United States, Sticky Situations, all of their honeys, all of their honey mashups, all of their mustards and sauces are unbelievable. You have to try this. You have to try it. And I'm going to use 15 grams of this, which is a tablespoon, pretty much. 16 is a tablespoon. But we're going to do that. This is the hot fudge honey mashup. And I want a little bit of spice in my oatmeal this morning. I actually used Mike's hot honey yesterday. And surprisingly, it worked quite well, which, I mean, I guess I really shouldn't be surprised by, because Mike's hot honey is delicious. I just had never really like thought about using Mike's on it before, and I'm glad I did, because like I said, it was quite good. This is just good because it's hot and chocolate, little spice, little chocolate, and we are still going to, and here's the other thing, is on days like, I really want to hit my carb and protein goals. If I'm under on my fats, I don't really care. And so there are days where I'm going to be under on calories. And listen, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not setting the diet up to get 2,160 calories every single day. But it's probably going to be between, 2,000 and 2,160 or 2,200 every single day. On training days, like on my leg day, what I'll probably end up doing is have an intra workout, so I can get through that workout and then do smaller meals outside of that. So I'll do 6 on that day and 5 on my non-leg days. But I definitely want to have the energy to get through to the end of my leg workout. But listen, y'all, yap session over. I'm going to add 2 more grams of cinnamon to this, show it to you, and then we're going to go sit down on the couch and watch some YouTube and enjoy this meal. This is what she's looking like with the cinnamon. Then we mix her up and we go and we smash her.